Good afternoon. It is September 3rd, 2024. It's Tuesday. And I'm in the mood to do a little bit of chatting today about some weird things that have transpired in my life in the past couple days. What else is new? But this is something I have to talk about, at least for my own documentation. Because as I've talked about, when you're a targeted person under surveillance, under government surveillance, community watch things, they love to, or whenever you have angered a narcissistic individual and caused a narcissistic injury for your handler or whoever, if you stop responding to their phone calls or this is crap or whatever, this is an example of what they'll do. That's not a coincidence when they're angry with you and they want to get revenge or they want to try to discredit you. I don't know who sent this person, but it was pretty obvious that somebody sent somebody out the other day to check up on me because I had been avoiding another person who was my so-called handler, who was angry because I guess I wasn't responding to his messages or something, because after what happened the last time he was here, he made me so mad that I basically just kind of was like, I don't want to talk to this person anymore because he's a liar. And he did something that was extremely insulting and humiliating. And I was like, oh, I don't want to put myself through that. Well, anyway, beside the point, who cares? What I want to talk about is something that's weird, because these are the kinds of random events or coincidences that can happen, or that seem to happen in my life, and then I am supposed to act like it's not. Okay, it's clear that it's a setup, right? Number one, you can tell when you're being set up, and this is what happened. This is an example. This was the other day before yesterday. What? It was on Sunday. Okay, today's Tuesday. This happened on Sunday afternoon, Sunday at some point. And this was just weird, but it was also, I was outside in the yard doing something. It was a pretty day. It was really pretty weather. I remember it was kind of cool outside, not too hot, a little bit cloudy, but sunny. But it was a really pretty day, Sunday afternoon, late in the afternoon. And I went out there to the yard, and I was basically not. I was only wearing a tank top. A black tank top and my Bermuda shorts, because I was not out there expecting to do, I was just out in the yard. Good thing I had brushed my teeth though. Wow, at least I had brushed my teeth, so it wasn't, I had already eaten. So it's not, so at least I didn't have onion breath. I hope not. Who knows? I don't know. But I had brushed my teeth, thank God. But my, whatever. I had just gotten out of the shower not too long ago. I didn't have any makeup on at all, just completely, just basically. And I was out there just doing something really random to get something out of my car or whatever. And I see this car driving by, this white Honda is driving by really slow. And then I saw them drive by my house, and then they turned around. They went a few doors down, down the street, and then they turned back around. He turned back around. He came over in front of my house, parked the wrong direction, parked out in front of my house, and he starts looking at me, asking me a question, something about like if I had some shade where he could smoke or get it. He said, "Do you mind if I come out and get in the shade and smoke?" I was like, "Smoke what?" And I said, well, I was like, I don't really know you, but I went up to his car. He had he was driving a little Honda white Civic, and I was like, that car looks familiar, kind of. It reminded me of something. And what did it remind me of? It reminded me of the vehicle that my uncle, or excuse me, my father, let's just say is my father, because I like to say that he's my father. I'm convinced that, and I've talked about this, Alan, that he was my father, the one who died. That man, where did I put my phone? Yeah, I've got pictures on the phone of that of that car. So now I don't know where my phone is. Here it is. Okay, I had pictures of my phone on my other phone, my Q-Link wireless phone, that Serrano Pepper fucking phone, whatever. I had a picture of that Honda. When I went to his property, I took a picture of the Honda. So it's a little Honda Civic of probably from the 90s. I don't know what year, a little white thing. And I think that's a car that I was able to collect the DNA, the hair from the hairbrush that he had sitting there. Yeah, it was from that little Honda that I was able to, got a face mask out of there and some hair from a brush in case I need to do a DNA test, right, to prove that he's my father. And that was on his property. And that was a year, that was a ways back. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of white Honda Civics around. It's not like it's just that it just so happened that one looks exactly like the one on his property in Kerrville. And it just so happens that I'm still going through this probate thing, okay, about his estate and about money missing and money in accounts and whatnot. And I already talked about how the sibling, my narcissistic, because he's a fucking narcissist, this half-sibling brother, what he did when Alan died, he went through the whole estate prior to, and God knows what he found. God knows what was in the accounts, money. Maybe there was a will. You see, all these things that they don't want me to know about. So I'm thinking, okay, he's driving a car that kind of looks familiar. It reminds me of that. And I'm like, okay, what does this guy want? Who is this guy? I was like, maybe you're looking for the house next door. Maybe, because I said, what are you looking for? And he said he was looking for me. I said, what, are you looking for somebody? He said, I'm looking for you. Okay. And so I'm like, I guess my point is that I'm a targeted individual. All these little random synchronicities that happen in my life like that, they're not just random. That was planned out. Okay. Somebody sent this dude here, and it just so happens though that I was outside when he drove by. But I believe that all this is done by design, in my opinion, considering what I've been going through and what I do go through on a daily basis. I believe that he was sent by somebody to keep tabs on me, or to try to. Sometimes, okay, the guy, he had blue eyes, and he got out of his car. He had on a tank top with a bunch of palm trees on it, a white tank top with these palm trees on it, little palm tree designs. He had a lot of tattoos, a lot of body art. And he had a sticker that said Santa Cruz on the back of his Honda. And he was a nice guy. I mean, I find these characters quite interesting. I was fascinated with all his tattoos, and he was running his mouth about 90 miles a minute because he was, and I was, but I was being nice to him. He didn't seem like a threatening person. I can usually tell. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I don't know him well enough, but I'm just saying he seemed like a decent enough person. So I let him in my yard. I said I allowed him to in my yard, and we were just talking for a while, talking about different things, and then he I want to see if I've got that picture of that car. I asked him what his name is. I said, so what's your name? He told me what his name was, and he told me he was from Austin, but he was originally from the Woodlands, and then he lived in Louisiana or something like that. So he had a German, I'm not going to say his name. Well, I could say his name, but I know his name, but I'm not going to say. He had a German last name. That's weird. Anyway, but he, let's just say that I let him in my house for a minute because he asked if he could charge my phone and sit down in the shade. So I allowed him in here for a minute, and we just talked, and I listened to him tell a story about something that happened. He was asking me questions. So I said, so what kind of... He told me he had been in prison for a year, and then I was able to look up his mugshots. Sure enough, he had been in... I saw his mugshot online, so yes, he had been in prison for something. I think it was drug-related, he told me. And whatever. He was talking about, we were talking for a while, and he helped me. He actually he flipped on a switch to help me. My lights went back on. He helped with that. He so now I have electricity again because of the break. He did something on the breaker box, and he fixed that really quickly, and that was cool because no. Oh, yeah, there should be photos, or that's on the other SIM card. I changed out a SIM card. And the thing is that I want to show the picture that I had of that car. And I'm just saying that, like, this shit that happens to me, too bad I change out the car. If I put this... Oh, I don't know how that happened. What? How does that happen? Hi, I don't, Melinda, I didn't call you. I'm sorry, that must have happened by accident. I'm sorry, I didn't even call you. I'm really sorry about that. Sorry. How did that happen? Huh. Okay, anyway, that was weird. My attorney just called on that. My phone rang by itself and called her. You see how weird this is? I didn't call her right now. And I'm not even in the same room. But that just happened. Okay, that's an example of the remote control that they do to me. They like do things from a distance, I guess. Remote targeting. That's an example. She just called. I just spoke with her a few minutes ago. I called her. And then I'm in the other room. I'm in a completely different room, and I hear the phone ringing a few minutes ago. And then somebody answers, and she's like, Melinda Luna Law. Well, wait a minute. I didn't call because I don't even have that phone. The phone's charging. I'm in a completely different room. You see how this government surveillance stuff works? That's kind of weird, isn't it? But I do have this other phone that I was going to show the picture of, okay? It's a good thing I'm making a video about this because this is really weird stuff, isn't it? This is proof right now. This is proof of what's going on. Am I even recording?